Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy D-Man the Great here, and today I'm here, as you can see, to talk about the WNBA. And the thing I have to say about the WNBA is why don't necessarily they get paid a better amount. Because necessarily, as I've done the research for this topic here, it turns out that the WNBA doesn't get paid the amount of money as you would from playing overseas as a women's basketball player. And that's not good at all necessarily, because if you're the WNBA, you're the female counterpart of the greatest basketball league in the world, and it's not even close. And the NBA compared to overseas basketball is not even close. And like you look at people like Lance Stevenson, he was sweet for a couple years in the league, and really he fizzled out for a little bit when he had left Indiana the first time. But when he returned to the league, he was never the same player. He was getting like 8 rebounds, 17 points a game. But he easily drops 31 overseas and is like an MVP caliber player overseas in China. But the thing is, you put in the WNBA and you're putting that versus the actual overseas women's basketball, and it's like, if you can go play overseas women's basketball and make more money, why should any good female player play in the WNBA? Huh? It makes no sense, right? It's supposed to be the biggest female basketball league in the world, but they're not making enough money here. And the thing is, there's a couple narratives over them that they talk about, and then there's a lot of WNBA slander that's very sexist towards these women as well. I'm not going to really dwell on that for a minute, but it is true. It's pretty bad. And the thing is, no one has ever said the WNBA has deserved as much as the NBA players, because they're not on the same caliber as the NBA players. But the thing is, they should be the NBA of female basketball, but they're making less money. And the NBA right now is bigger than it has ever been with the new TV deal and everything. Players are making 10 times the amount that they were making in the 90s even. And like Michael Jordan getting a $30 million contract was crazy back in the 90s, because he was like the only guy making that much money. He was making at least $13 million more than the second best player in the league at that point, or whoever was making the second most at that point. And what I'm saying here is, if they're only making around $100,000 a year for the WNBA, they're not drawing enough attention or getting the respect they deserve. Because if you play in the WNBA, they could at least make an NBA minimum deal as a max contract. As just a pretty standard. Like, you could put it even as the NBA minimum. That wouldn't be bad. Or at least have it to where it looks like a lot more compared to the chump change overseas. Because pretty much what the WNBA makes is, compared to NBA money, is chump change. Like, you could go in the NBA right now and play the bottom of the bench for the worst team in the league, like the Phoenix Suns, and you'll be making $1 million a year, or $500,000 at worst for a 10-day, or whatever. Whereas in the WNBA, they're making a max of $100,000 plus dollars, not all counted. And the thing is, with taxes, that'll take half of that, so they're really not making anything. They're making your mom and dad's salary every season. So it's like, oh, why shouldn't I just go play overseas and come back? Like, you don't really want to play basketball all year round, do you? But I guess you gotta play ball all year round and go overseas in the winter, then come back to the WNBA in the summer and play then. But necessarily, it's a lot of effort doing all that. Leaving, getting up and leaving, going overseas to make money. Or like how Candace Parker has to be a Turner Sports analyst every year. Now she's a part of the Turner Sports team now, just to be pretty much make a good amount. Because I bet you she probably make more off TNT being co-host with Kenny and Chuck and all them than making money in the WNBA. And that's not necessarily a good thing to go through. And that's different here. Because a lot of them are really good players. A lot of the women in the WNBA are really good players. And if they're the best female team in the league, if they're winning the USA tournament every year, if the USA women's team is winning the Olympic gold medal every year, then I'd say WNBA, United States-based league, deserves to make a good amount of money. And then the thing is, I'm gonna get into why they won't make as much as the NBA right now. Now, they will not ever make as much as the NBA, and they do not deserve as much as the NBA players, because they play 50 less games. Number two, they draw like 1/8 of the ratings, pretty much, that the NBA gets. The NBA will get 15 million people watching the game. They'll get 15 million people watching the game. Whereas the WNBA, at best, will get 558,000 or maybe 1 million, like a weekly TV show or something. But the NBA will get 3 million versus them getting like 20,000 viewers. But the point is that they don't draw the ratings, which is a major moneymaker in TV. If you're not drawing ratings, a TV company does not want to give you bigger contracts, because like I'm pretty sure right now you could give the WNBA a nice TV deal for a good amount, and we'll stream. Like, have you seen any WNBA games off of ESPN or even just things of that sort? You're not catching the WNBA outside of ESPN that much. Like, I don't remember the last time I actually saw a publicly televised WNBA game. Like, you catch every January, they start to have all the NBA games on ABC and show you the Saturday night primetime games they brought back and all this and that. You're not getting that from the WNBA. And then they're not marketing their stars big enough, such as a couple players I put in there that I really wanted to play with in here is Candace Parker and Elena Del Don, my favorite players personally. But the thing is, they're not allowing you gotta market your stars. They're not getting the marketability of the NBA. Like, people are coming out, like they got Zion on so many televised games to start the season pretty early, even though most of the time rookies that young will struggle at the start. We have Zion in so many televised games that he's everywhere already, being pegged as the next big thing in the NBA. And the WNBA players can't get a Zion push. Zion is already 10 times big as they have ever been, because they're not getting the same push as the others. But that's just the thing they have to do. You'd have to get more interest in the arena of women's basketball somehow. I don't know how you'll do it, but you have to do it some way. And you have to draw ratings, and then they'll make a lot more money if the WNBA got a nice TV deal. Like if they got like an ABC deal off of and then were able to get playtime while the NBA was heading to the playoffs, they would be able to do more. Like, you probably won't catch a WNBA game on TV until the playoffs. And then in this era now, where television itself is kind of fading, and it's everybody trying to move towards streaming apps, which I might make a video on later on, is that everybody's trying to move towards streaming apps. They're trying to get you to pay $10.99, $9.99 for our service, and with that, live TV will phase out eventually, and the channels such as ESPN, and people won't be buying cable as much. Cable will never leave, most likely, but cable is being phased out slowly to the point where everybody's on demand, everybody's watching whatever the heck they want. and you're stuck there on national TV, and you're not drawing the millions of viewers per episode because everybody's dropping their cable and they're hopping on Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, all of it. But I'm gonna hop off this conversation for now, and I'm gonna catch it back one time later with it. But I thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.